Happening now, we tell you where some of the first doses of a COVID-19 vaccine will be available locally. Plus, the latest on a famed Jamestown restaurant that's closing their doors.
Well, we've had a few renegade snowflakes across the area this morning. Those are going to taper off for the later afternoon. And how's the rest of the week looking? I'll tell you about it in detail next. The news at noon starts right now.
Live and on demand, this is WNY News Now.
And thanks for joining us for WNY News Now. I'm Justin Gould. Upmc Chautauqua Hospital in Jamestown will be one of the first medical providers in the area to get a COVID-19 vaccine once one becomes available. Chautauqua County's Director of Public Health says she's working with leaders at the hospital to come up with a plan to distribute the vaccine, starting with frontline medical workers. Director Christine Schuyler says vaccinations will then be available to skilled nursing facilities and those who are at higher risk for contracting the virus.
So they will be direct recipients of that vaccine, and all of our hospitals in our county are great partners and have said that they will assist us with vaccinating the general population in order of the priority population. So they're not just going to get that vaccine and keep it only for their staff and their patients, but they are willing to help us get the vaccine out to the population.
UPMC leaders say they'll be receiving both the Pfizer and Moderna vaccines, with the first doses expected to arrive in the next few weeks. They say vaccinations will get underway sometime in late January. Vaccine or not, Schuyler says there's still a long road ahead in order to return to life as normal. She hopes by next summer, life will return to some sort of normal, with businesses reopening and the community physically coming together once again. She says educating the public about the vaccine will also need to take place before some people feel comfortable in receiving a dose. Well, as the UK started administering their first coronavirus vaccines, both President Trump and President-elect Biden held COVID-focused events yesterday. Even though U.S. vaccines could be days away, public health officials forecast a dire few weeks ahead, the stretch that will overlap with the presidential transition. Karen Kafa reports more from Washington.
In the UK Tuesday, great expectations.
No point dying now when I haven't lived this long, is there? I don't plan to anyway.
The first Western country to begin administering Pfizer-BioNTech's coronavirus vaccine. Here in Washington, the FDA could sign off on the use of the same vaccine within days. Commissioner Dr. Stephen Hahn says both Pfizer and Moderna's offerings appear to be on the right path.
Our team has done their initial analysis, and we do feel that preliminarily that the success criteria have been met.
President Trump at a White House vaccine summit touting his administration's work.
It has been incredible, and it will end the pandemic.
But the bulk of distributing vaccines to millions of Americans will fall under the incoming Biden administration. Introducing top members of his health team, President-elect Joe Biden warning much work is ahead.
They're going to be ready on day one to spare not a single effort to get this pandemic under control.
Right now, U.S. cases, hospitalizations, and deaths climbing.
Towards the end of this week and next week, I think that we'll see the impact of Thanksgiving, both traveling as well as the small gatherings that people had despite our recommendations.
In the last 7 days, the nation saw its deadliest week of the pandemic since April, with more than 15,000 lives lost. In Washington, I'm Karen Kafa.
Karen, thank you. The UK now warning people with a significant history of allergic reactions to not get the Pfizer-BioNTech vaccine. 2 health workers who received a dose during the first day of rollout yesterday suffered allergic reactions. That's according to the National Health Service in England. According to the PA media, both staff members reportedly had a significant history of allergic reactions and carried injections to prevent them. The U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention typically advises telling a provider if you have any severe life-threatening allergies before taking any vaccine. Thousands overall are believed to have been vaccinated in the UK so far. Pfizer and biotech have said there are no serious safety concerns related to it. Well, a downstate lawmaker is proposing a COVID-19 vaccine mandate that would depend on how people respond to its arrival here in New York State. Democratic Assemblyperson Linda Rosenthal, who represents New York's 67th Assembly District, that's in New York City, recently proposed the legislation. However, local Assemblyman Andy Goodell says it is unlikely the bill will get much traction this year. He says discussions will likely continue into the new year and that he doesn't think a mandate is a really good idea.
If you're concerned about getting this virus and you want to take the vaccine, I would certainly encourage you to do so. And I support the effort to prioritize the vaccine availability amongst those that are at highest risk. At the same time, I do not support having the vaccine mandated. Someone doesn't want to take the vaccine, either because they've already been exposed, for example, and they already have the antibodies, or maybe they're in a very, very low risk group. That is a personal decision that they should make.
Now, the legislation does not propose an automatic requirement for vaccinations when one becomes available. Instead, it's based on the response. The legislation goes on to note that anyone who is exempted by a licensed medical professional would not have to be vaccinated. Well, a restaurant in Kennedy had its liquor license suspended after violating New York State's COVID-19 regulations. New York Governor Andrew Cuomo's office says Big Shots Kennedy Grill on Route 394 is among 36 bars and restaurants who are targeted with violations in the latest sweep by the state liquor authority. Now, following community complaints in late October, a liquor authority investigator visited the establishment and found around 20 people without face coverings standing at the bar, drinking, mingling, and congregating while ignoring social distancing. Now, furthermore, the investigator says the dining area had been turned into a makeshift dance floor with tables pushed against the wall and patrons dancing and playing pool and darts. The agent was also able to purchase a drink without food from the bartender, who did not have a facial covering, noting no evidence of food served during the entirety of his inspection. The governor previously rolled out new rules for bars and restaurants in an attempt to limit gatherings to slow the spread of COVID-19. Well, we thank you for joining us for WNY News Now as we continue to make putting facts over fear our top priority in coverage of the COVID-19 pandemic as we head through what many health experts are saying could be a dark time for many. But we appreciate you tuning in for a check of how it's affecting us all here locally. Good to see Courtney, Jacqueline, Taylor, Terry, Johnny, and Wendy. Hopefully you're all doing well. Thanks so much for joining us. Let us know what you think about these stories in the comments down below. Good to see David, Barbara, and Robin as well. Well, now let's switch gears and get a check of our First Defense weather forecast. Chief Forecaster Dakota Hunter standing by with a little bit of snow that's falling across the area, Dakota.
Yes, we had, and as forecast, we told you about how there was going to be a little bit of snow. Again, this is not that big deal kind of snow with dusting to less than a half inch. That's pretty much about it, and that's the scene over the Seneca Allegheny Casino in Salamanca. 31 degrees with a dew point of 29, so there is a little bit of fog out there, and this is the snow that actually moved through this morning. You can see it's all tapered off. This one little itty bitty spot right there on the New York PA line right there is pretty much what's left, basically, across the area, and the rest of the snow is going to taper off, but we're still going to be in a few light flurries through the afternoon. This is not going to be anything major, and any accumulation out of the afternoon, really nothing to, again, less than a quarter of an inch, if that. So at the airport, they have a trace of snow on the ground at the airport right now. We still have 4 inches of snow for the month. We should be at 5.7 inches for the month, basically, as we run right now. Still 6.5 inches of of snow for the season. We're down 7.8 inches for the season right now. The high was 33 yesterday. 28 is where we started the day today. 60 and 10 below zero set back in 1917 was the record low for this day. So through the afternoon, early rain and snow showers taper this afternoon. It's still going to be chilly, and we're going to have a brisk breeze with a biting wind chill. These are the actual air temperatures, 31 to 39. But the southwest to west wind, 10 to 20 miles per hour, is going to make it feel a lot colder than that. So dress for temperatures upper teens to the mid 20s across the area today. But some better weather is ahead for today, for tomorrow and Friday, and the weekend. We're still keeping our eyes on that weekend storm. We'll tell you what we know in a few minutes. Justin?
All right, Dakota, thank you. A longtime downtown Jamestown restaurant is once again closing temporarily due to the pandemic, but plans to reopen for takeout in the near future. Taco Hut's owners Jim and Kim Mason tell us online rumors that the restaurant has permanently closed is false. The Masons say the establishment closed temporarily yesterday to make some renovations before reopening for pickup and delivery. The two say they have a lot invested in the community here, and the community has a lot invested in them, something they're not ready to give up yet. Taco Hut previously closed this year due to the pandemic, but reopened for takeout and later indoor dining in June. The Masons don't have a specific timeline for reopening takeout services yet, but they say they plan to announce more soon. Once the pandemic is over, the family-owned business hopes to reopen indoor dining and welcome the community back for the full Taco Hut experience. Well, the National Restaurant Association is warning that 10,000 of Americans' restaurants could permanently close in the next 3 weeks. That's on top of the 110,000 that already closed this year amid this pandemic. The Restaurant Association is publicly pleading with Congress to pass a new stimulus bill to help the industry, which has been ravaged by COVID. An association spokesman says the industry cannot wait for relief any longer. They advocate a true compromise between the current proposals and hopes for a larger stimulus package next year under the incoming Biden administration. Well, straight ahead, still a lot to tell you about. Will we have a white Christmas? Chief Forecaster Dakota Hunter comes back to explain. But first, the latest on how SUNY JCCC is adapting to COVID in the community. Stay with us as WNY News Now continues.
Happy holidays from WNY News Now.
EagleZip.com is your local one-stop shop for all of your home and business computer needs. Located on Fluvan Avenue Extension, just outside of Jamestown, EagleZip.com sells and services all brands of desktops and laptops, as well as servers and network equipment for your business. All new computer sales include transferring your data from your old computer, plus a 2-year warranty. Call EagleZip.com today.
Stop by EagleZip.com today and let us make computers easy for you.
Want weather now? Download the WNY News Now mobile app and stay up to date on severe weather alerts. Plus, anytime hazardous weather strikes, stick with the Southern Tier's only 24/7 streaming network that keeps you safe. You're all in a tornado warning, so now is the time to go to a safe place, small room, lowest floor, near the center, away from windows. What are you waiting for? Download the WNY News Now mobile app today. It's free in the Apple App Store and Google Play Store.
I'm a survivor. I'm a survivor. I'm a survivor.
Testicular cancer is the leading form of cancer in men aged 15 to 35.
1 in 250 men will be diagnosed with testicular cancer.
But 98% will survive if detected early.
As a survivor, I believe early detection is the key. Learn how to do a testicular self-exam and other important facts about testicular cancer at oneball4tc.com.
Wishing you a safe and happy holiday season. WNY News Now, the Jolly Team, where coverage comes first.
Welcome back. In an attempt to maintain low levels of COVID-19 at JCCC, all operations will be moving to a remote format starting today. The college denounced the change on its website. As predicted by healthcare officials, they say a significant increase in COVID-19 cases is occurring in the region, and with recommendations from their health services team, they're suspending their on-campus instruction and other campus operations. However, essential personnel are still allowed on campus. Courses scheduled through the Cornell Cooperative Extension and Workforce Readiness will also continue as scheduled. The student support services, which include things like tutoring, academic advising, library services, and more, will continue to be available. The college says they'll continue this remote format until at least Christmas break. Well, with the number of COVID-19 cases rapidly increasing across the state, officials have ordered all local courts to stop in-person appearances until further notice as well. Starting today, anyone with a pending case in a town or village court is asked to contact the court in question to see if their matter can take place virtually. Jamestown City Court is also closing for in-person hearings. A court clerk tells us that arraignments and preliminary hearings will be able to be held virtually. The clerk says most cases will eventually be transferred to Chautauqua County Court for the time being. Now, courtrooms across the state closed in-person proceedings earlier this year due to the pandemic. Most later reopened in May, with most appearing virtually. The appearances will now continue virtually in county court as well. A bipartisan rebunk to President Donald Trump from the House of Representatives. Despite a threat of a presidential veto, the House has approved a spending bill by an overwhelming majority. Our John Lawrence takes a look.
The 2020 National Defense Authorization Act passes the House of Representatives by a large margin.
On this vote, the yeas are 335, the nays are 78, with one present. The conference report is adopted without objection. The motion reconsidered is laid on the table.
The $740 billion bill includes raises for U.S. soldiers and equipment updates.
Our men and women in uniform put their lives on the line to defend our freedom. We owe them the tools to do their job.
President Donald Trump is threatening to veto the bill because it doesn't repeal a law that protects internet companies from being liable for what's posted on their sites. It also renames military bases with Confederate names and limits the amount of money the president can move for border wall funding.
There are real grave concerns here, and the president stands by that.
Some, like Republican Senator Lindsey Graham, support the president's stance. Others hope Trump will back down from his threat.
Well, I don't think there's a bill that can't have a significant number of one of us say, I wish that provision were different. But we ought to not have our focus on the donut hole. We ought to have our focus on the donut.
I'm John Lawrence reporting.
John, thank you. If a Trump veto of the NDAA sticks, special pay for thousands of service members would be affected. The bill now heads to the Senate, where many GOP senators have signaled they would vote to override a veto. Well, could we see a white Christmas this year in Western New York? Based on statistical data from the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, the chance varies per each location. NOAA defines a white Christmas as having at least 1 inch of measurable snow on the ground on December 25th. A number of factors do play into the widespread possibilities across the region, such as elevation and geographical location. The overall change differs to nearly 30% across the region. In Chautauqua and Cattaraugus counties, our odds greatly increase thanks to our higher elevations and to more often bouts with snowfall. However, is that in our future? Chief Forecaster Dakota Hunter joins us now with more on where we stand for the holidays.
Well, as Justin just told you, that is actually based on statistical data over about a 30-year average, 1981 to about 2012. They look at the snow depth data. So let's take a look at links 1. And we put together a nice little graphic that kind of demonstrate this. So as Justin just said, a white Christmas is defined by NOAA as having 1 inch of measurable snow on the ground anywhere on Christmas Day. Now, this is the map that NOAA has basically put together of all of the snow depth, the historical averages. And when you look at a place like Buffalo, their elevation is 211.20 feet. So their historical probability, based on a 30-year average of seeing a white Christmas, is about a coin toss, a 50-50 shot. But then you drop into the southern tier in Sinclairville, which has a higher elevation, almost double that, 493.80 feet, and the historical probability of seeing a white Christmas there is about 74%. Now, please keep in mind that is a 30-year average looking at snow data. So, are we going to see a white Christmas this year? Well, I'm not so sure. The white Christmas is in jeopardy this year. As we take a look at the 8 to 10, this is the 8 to 14 day temperature outlook from NOAA, and you can see that much of the country is blanketed in above average temperatures favored over the next 8 to 14 days. And even here in Western New York, it is going to be warm as we head into the Christmas holidays. So I think our best chance as we stand right now for seeing any chance of a white Christmas is likely going to be any renegade flakes off Lake Erie. If we can get lake effect snow and we can get it to stick at least 1 inch on Christmas Day, it'll be a white Christmas. But hey, something to get your spirits up, not spirits, but spirits up, and those two. Yeah, I know. Let's break it out. The ski resorts are going to be opening here soon. Cockaigne opens on Saturday. First time since 2011, Cockaigne will be open, and I know a lot of people are looking forward to that. They plan to open on Saturday, and Holiday Valley plans to open tomorrow. And of course, all the other ski resorts are going to be opening soon. They're all making snow, so get out those tubes, get out those skis and snowboards. I've seen a lot of people already getting those out, ready for the holiday season. We're at 30 right now as a noon hour at the airport. The wind has came down a little bit. That's the good news, but we still have a wind chill index of 21 degrees. And across the region, this is what it feels like when you combine the air temperature and the wind together. So dress for numbers closer to this. 20 in Warren, 21 in Tidiute, also in Corey, 24 Clymer, 33 Mayville, 32 at freezing is what it feels like in Erie, 24 Randolph, and how about 19 in Olean. This is what it feels like. So this is to dress for today. Don't dress for the lower 30s, dress for numbers closer to that. So as we take a look at First Defense Doppler radar, this is pretty much what's left of the snow that we had this morning. This one little itty bitty little snowflake here that is kind of crossed across Cattaraugus County. It's now in McKean County, Pennsylvania, moving to the south here. And as we put the satellite and radar data on, you can see the snow that basically moved through. It's all moving out to the east. It's all fading away. So the rest of the afternoon really should be mainly dry. 15 more days to go. Speaking of which, if you want to get your spirits up, 15 more days to go until we ring hello to Christmas, and just please keep it in your immediate family. We all know this by now. No large gatherings, just your immediate family. Open those gifts, have that pie. So temperatures today, these are the air temperatures, but as I told you, don't dress for numbers closer to this. Dress for the lower 20s, because that's what it's going to feel like when you add in that southwest wind 10 to 20 miles per hour. Now, in high definition, the next 7 days of your life, brought to you by 42 degrees and sunny. 41 tomorrow. At least we'll see some better sunshine there. Even warmer on Friday, 47. The weekend is still going to be a interesting situation. It looks like the better chance of rain on Saturday is going to be in the afternoon. Sunday will likely be windy with rain showers. And look at that, as a cold front passes Sunday night, temperatures go back down into the lower 30s for Monday and Tuesday, with a few lake effect snow showers possible on Monday. We will. So don't touch that dial. First Defense Weather is sponsored by 42 Degrees and Sunny, smokin' deals on smokin' accessories. Learn more at 42degreesandsunny.com. That's 42degreesandsunny.com.
Wishing you a safe and happy holiday season. WNY News Now, the Jolly Team, where coverage comes first.
Extra, extra, read all about it. Not tomorrow, but right now, on the WNY News Now mobile app. Follow local news as it happens.
The mother of a special education student at Maple Grove High School is speaking out.
And stay informed with the Southern Tier's only 24/7 streaming network.
And Lake Erie is covered in less than 1% of ice as this winter season has entered its peak.
Download the WNY News Now app right now. It's free on the Apple App Store and Google Play Store.
Happy holidays from WNY News Now.
Well, it's one of the best ways to slow the spread of COVID, but wearing a mask can also cause our skin to break out. Mandy Gaither with 5 ways to help keep our face clear in today's Health Minute.
Having trouble keeping your skin clear beneath a mask? You're not alone. There's even a name for it on dictionary.com. Maskne is defined as acne or other skin irritations that result from wearing a mask.
They perspire, or if they're a little bit oily, the pores get clogged under the mask. And honestly, some people get irritated from the mask alone.
Dr. Glenn Kalansky, board-certified dermatologist and fellow of the American Academy of Dermatology, says these 5 things can help. First, wash your face before and after putting on a mask and use an oil-free water-based moisturizer, but not too much.
Many people put a thick layer on, and when you put a thick layer, it can lead to clogging of the pores, especially under a mask. So just putting on a thin layer works fine.
Change your mask often and keep it clean. If it's cotton, wash it frequently and watch what you're putting on your face.
Most importantly is stop wearing makeup under the mask. It clogs the pores under the mask. And plus it keeps rubbing off on your mask, and you just keep putting that mask on your face with old makeup.
Finally, if you have to wear a mask for hours at a time, go to a place where you can take it off for 5 or 10 minutes to allow your skin some time to breathe. For today's Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
Mandy, thank you. If the loops of the mask are causing irritation to your skin around the ears, make sure it fits properly. You might need a bigger loop, and there are extenders out there to help diminish some of the irritation. Well, Apple revealed its AirPods Max yesterday. The company's latest over-the-ear wireless headset comes with noise cancellation and built-in Siri. They promise about 20 hours of battery life. A slim smart case is included, which puts the headset on a low power mode to preserve the battery. They come with also a transparency mode from Apple's in-ear counterpart, AirPods Pro. But the Max will still set you back a pretty penny. They cost around $549, which is double the cost of AirPods Pro and more than the cost of an iPhone SE. The AirPods Max launched on December 15th, just in time for Christmas. Well, in addition to weather expert, Dakota is a Mac expert, and we were talking about this yesterday, Dakota. That price, especially now, all
it's
things
ridiculous.
Considered, yeah, it is.
I'll be honest with you. I mean, I'm a hardcore Apple guy, but I can't justify $549 for a pair of over-the-ear headphones. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
And quite frankly, the internals of AirPod Max, from what I've seen, are basically similar to AirPods Pro. So what in the world are we paying for?
And
I don't
really
understand
feel
the
like
price.
it's probably just the brand. You know Beats out there, the
Right.
Dr. Dre, those are really
Well,
popular.
Apple owns
still
that.
are. Right.
Right.
It almost seems like it's kind of like that in a sense where
But even the
you're just
Beats were
paying
not
for the
that
big
expensive.
headphones. Yeah, no, they're not. They're not. It's weird.
I mean, I don't understand what is going on there at Apple Park in
Maybe they
Cupertino.
take you right into whatever you're listening to.
Well,
it takes you right to the concert.
I don't know.
You're next to the drummer.
You see, the only way I'm getting one, and actually I've seen where the shipping dates for the AirPod Max have already slipped into 2021.
Oh, really?
So if you didn't pre-order now, you ain't getting it until probably January or February 2021.
Let us know what you think about this and more in the comments down below. Honestly, I like, the cheapy little Apple.
Yeah.
I wear it instead of my IFB because I like it better. I think these are great.
The weather people still have to wear these uncomfortable things.
Yeah, but you like that, don't you? I mean,
No.
No? Why don't you wear one of these?
Because they told the weather people we're not allowed.
Oh.
We have to wear the
I'm allowed
traditional
to do whatever I want,
ball
I
and
guess.
chain thing.
Good to see Kim. Good to see Joe, Jessica, and Marie. Hopefully everyone is having a good day and staying warm out there. Let us know what you think about these stories and more in the comments section down below. It's always nice to get Dakota's take on everything from winter weather to these Apple products. It's interesting. I last night I was looking over again, Christmas lists. I pretty much got everything that I need at this point for others. But it's like, the thing is, especially this holiday, it's hard sometimes, I think, to justify buying certain things, and I don't know if that Apple product.
Well,
will
I
be
mean,
on there
I
for
can't
me.
justify it as a gift,
Or in
unless you're
general.
rich.
Yeah.
But I can't justify it even spending it on myself.
But even if you're rich, I mean, you're not really that rich if you think about it.
Well,
everybody's got a price.
No, well, there's going to be people out there who's going to be buying it because it's Apple,
That's true.
See you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow. Have a great day. We'll leave you with this look over Chautauqua Lake. It's worse than it's not as bad as it looks. Something with that camera always makes it
We
look
need to
like
get
we're
Matt
having a
Hummel up there
blizzard.
to clean it.
Yeah, Matt, where are you?